We've got lots to discuss today. Right now, the market is dipping just a little bit. Let's talk about exactly what is happening there and what my strategy is for this week. And what we also need to discuss are the top altcoins that you should be positioning in right now to take advantage of Q4. There are two narratives in particular which I believe are going to be at the front of the market in terms of leading the pack for altcoins heading into this new leg of the crypto cycle. You're not going to want to miss out on the alpha in today's video because I'm going to be sharing my top picks from these two sectors and giving you the exact price levels that you need to be looking at. But firstly, let's go over a quick market update because, as I mentioned, Bitcoin is experiencing a dip right now. We broke above and even on the daily and weekly closed above this major level at 65K, but we are now breaking back down below. Now, if you did watch the last two shows, specifically this show I uploaded 2 days ago, you would be well prepared for this move because, as you can see, I did highlight on the chart here that I was expecting Bitcoin, although it was making a higher high, to come back down and also continue the uptrend in the form of a dip and a higher low. This is the exact same chart, basically. Like, it's literally uncanny how similar the drawing I made on the show looks to the current price action. It's the exact same pattern that we're following. We've made a higher high above the previous high of 65K. We actually went to 66K. We're drawing back down. We should make a higher low, just like I'm suggesting here. Yes, we can come a bit lower. We can go to 62, maybe even 61. But the idea that I had here was pretty much intact, that we would pump, have a dip, as you can see, pump, have a dip, and then continuation and make a new higher high. This is normal price action for Bitcoin. So, I mean, there's not really any reason to panic right now. It is, in my opinion, the early stages of forming a new uptrend. You can see we were in a downtrend. We had lower highs and lower lows. This is now looking like a reversal because we have higher lows and higher highs starting to form. But you can see price do this when it does make an uptrend. Basically, you have these drawdowns, and these drawdowns are amazing opportunities. We're going to get into those opportunities in today's video to position, especially if you did miss the move on alts, at least some alts that did really well. You now have a good opportunity on a lot of them to actually get some entries. Interestingly, altcoins haven't really moved that much on this Bitcoin dip. It is largely a Bitcoin dip being fueled by a lot of selling that's happening on Coinbase. The open interest did also climb quite a lot on Bitcoin, so we're seeing a bit of a flush out. I'm not really panicking just yet because it's, as I said, pretty much exactly in line with the plan that I shared 2 days ago, but I'm definitely happy that altcoins are at least showing relative strength. Yes, altcoins have dipped. Yes, total 3 is coming down, but it's coming down less than Bitcoin. So they're actually maintaining dominance, which suggests to me if Bitcoin does end up making another higher high, like I suggested, alts will actually probably outperform Bitcoin on the next leg up, and that's something I'm anticipating. This was also the chart that I shared on my last show on Total 3. I haven't changed it. This was also the scenario that I thought was going to happen of a pump. Pretty much pumped to the exact level that I drew. A retest. We're coming back down now to test this blue line, which was the upper region of this downwards regression channel. And then I'm looking for a break once again of the previous high at 630 bill. We're currently at 622 before we clear the high before that, which is at 660. So I am still thinking this will play out. Just based on the charts, nothing has really changed from a couple of days ago, but that was pretty spot on, I think, in terms of our analysis as to what was going to happen. Everything seems to be going to plan. Of course, I'll keep you updated every day here if things do change. From a macro perspective, though, I'm still pretty optimistic heading into Q4, considering the macro backdrop right now is quite positive, having the Fed recently pivoting with a 50 basis point rate cut. The markets have reacted well to that. Obviously, stocks have made all-time highs. China is also injecting liquidity into their economy. They had their biggest rate cut since 2020. There is still a bit of a lag right now on Bitcoin versus equities. You can see that if Bitcoin breaks above its yearly highs and rallies the same amount that the S&P has, which is 9%, Bitcoin would be an $81,000 asset. Now, it's not very common that Bitcoin lags equities for an extended period of time, which does give me a bit of confidence here, because if Bitcoin does a full catch up to the S&P, we are potentially looking at an $81,000 Bitcoin as our next target if stocks hold up. And this is something I'm just keeping my eye on right now because there is a bit of a discrepancy here. And as I said, usually this discrepancy shortens and Bitcoin tends to recorrelate to equities over time. It doesn't typically lag stocks for very long. So that's obviously a positive factor for the market. The Chinese stimulus is a positive factor for the market. Clearly, Asian stocks have performed well. I think Asian stocks have been like on an absolute rip. The Chinese stock market has had 4 consecutive up days. So it's looking really positive on that side. And crypto is just having a normal flush out on the way up. The other thing I also mentioned is that I thought that we may get a sell-off in the beginning of Q4 because people were buying the rumor and selling the news of Q4. And that's kind of what's playing out now, heading into the first day of Q4 tomorrow, just seeing a bit of a sell-off in the market. But there is, of course, a lot to look forward to with Bitcoin pretty much following its typical post-halving patterns of peaking in the year post-halving. We are seeing the market starting to wake up now, but as you can see in front of you, Bitcoin typically doesn't peak until the year after the Bitcoin halving. So in this case, that would be 2025, which makes Q4 an important period for crypto and potentially next year, the most exciting period for crypto. So the goal is right now, making sure you're still positioning and accumulating quality altcoins, especially as we get dips on pullbacks, because if we do follow that pattern that I discussed before of Bitcoin and Total 3 moving up in a pattern like this where we're making higher highs and higher lows. Look, there might be fake outs along the way and you see something like this, but overall, we should be in an uptrend. If that is the case and this uptrend continues to establish, these dips become great opportunities to buy because these are the times where altcoins will get flushed. You'll already know the strong alts because on every major pump, you'll be observing and creating a watch list of what those strong alts are. And whenever you get the dips, you basically position. And then on the next leg to the upside, the strong alts tend to outperform. So trading in this environment is actually quite easy. We have the framework for it that we implemented on the channel, in January, February, March to make crazy gains. If that kind of market condition comes back, even a fraction of what it was in March, you can, I think, replicate a trading strategy like that to great success. So today's video is going to be mainly focusing on the 2 altcoin narratives I really want you to be paying attention to on pullbacks, because these 2 narratives are the altcoins that I'm mostly focusing on accumulating, and I'm going quite heavy in Q4 versus other trends. So let's speak about narrative number 1, and that is the meme coins. It was undeniable that during the run-up on alts last week, meme coins were the top performers, going up 30% according to Velo data. The next top performing narrative was L2s at 9%, then DeFi at 6%, L1s and AI, which were all lagging. Obviously, if you go on a month time frame or a 2-week time frame, narratives like AI have performed much better. AI has just cooled off a little bit whilst the meme coins enter the forefront of the market. But these have been the 2 standout narratives over the last few weeks and over the last couple of months. But memes have accelerated really quickly, specifically over the last few days. And if you go into CoinGecko and you sort by weekly performance, you can see the top performers in the market aren't utility coins, they're meme coins. It's Dog with Hat, it's Bonk, Pepe, Shib. There are a couple in here like Say and Conflux, which aren't memes, but you got FOXY, Brett. These are the types of coins that have rallied the hardest. Why? Because these are the top coins that performed in March. And what's happening is as soon as the market goes bullish again, the same coins that ran back earlier in the year start to run again. So you'll notice that there's a lot of similarities right now versus March in terms of the narratives that are performing well are pretty similar, and the coins that are performing well are also pretty similar because they have the mind share. They've kind of drilled into the back of the mind of retail that, oh shit, when the market performs, these are the coins that pump. And that's why they're repricing the fastest. Also, a lot of them have been significantly down, so there still is a lot of catching up to do in terms of reaching a fair value level in terms of how they're viewed in the market. The other thing is, this is pretty much the meme coin super cycle. Like, in my opinion, one of the most left curve approaches you can take to the market this cycle is just positioning heavier in memes, specifically leading memes. Obviously, you can get rinsed if you're playing all the low cap memes because there's lots of rotations. But if you go for the ones with the top mind share, you pick the top meme coins from each ecosystem, I think you're going to do really well. And that's a message I've been preaching on these shows. And if you have been following that message and you've been accumulating these memes on big dips, you would have made some nice gains over the past few days on things like Pepe and Whiff. But I think it's only just getting started. If we go into a true bull where Bitcoin breaks all-time high and altcoins have an alt season, we're already seeing, decent relative strength today. I think the meme coins are going to outperform and probably be the strongest narrative in crypto. So definitely at the top of every watch list, you got to have your top memes. You can see here, 6 of the 11 top performing coins in terms of volume were actually meme coins yesterday. Now let's go through a few of them now. FOXY's one that we've been talking about a lot in the Mars High Club Discord. On the 19th of September, so 11 days ago, Paradise, who's our head low time frame trader, prepared you with this FOXY setup at just 0.008. I also followed up with posting the chart a little bit later, but at 0.009. I'd been mentioning it a while ago as well, also in the Discord, showing that I was looking to potentially bid the low on the liquidation wick at 0.006. So we've been positioned for a while, but I'm just highlighting some of the more recent trades over the past couple of weeks, which have panned out really well, because what actually happened on FOXY is we did get a breakout from that level. Obviously from that first level, we rallied 61%, but even from the breakout level that Paradise and I highlighted, we rallied 18%. And I shared a couple of my trades that I took a couple of days ago. This one was up 13.7K. The other one was up 4K. So I made almost 20K in terms of my PEPE position. I did close some at 9.6, I think. And then I recently rebought and re-added to my position yesterday because I think FOXY continues to make a push up here to this level. This is kind of the zone that I think is a bit of a magnet. It's the 0.011 level, the previous range low. That's a key level to reclaim, and I think we do continue pushing higher. But obviously everyone got that early alpha in the Mars High Club, which was amazing to see people profit on that. Moving on to another meme coin I think can perform well is, of course, PEPE. This is one that I did also speak about in terms of buying that liquidation wick again on the retest. We didn't get much of a chance to buy in here, just a little bit of a retest where I think 30% of my position got filled. And then once again on the breakout here, we got the rest of our position at the 8.7 level, and PEPE subsequently ended up running 37% to the upside. And this was a chart that Paradise shared in the Discord. You can see here, he says, PEPE is going to rip. This was a week ago, just as it was starting to break out of this zone, and people absolutely cooked on that trade. You can see some of the profits that people made, not just on PEPE, but on a lot of our other trades over the past couple of weeks. And of course, Paradise has been absolutely killing it on the trading front in the Discord. So well done to everyone there. It was a really big week, one of our biggest weeks in a long time. And if you don't want to miss out on the early alpha next time, make sure you do sign up for the Mars High Club using the link in the description below. We are approaching 1,000 members again, so you want to get in quick before we hit 1K, because once we hit 1,000, I'm going to close it again. So if you want to join us here for Q4, where I think a lot of these opportunities are going to come and be a part of the community. We have some massive stuff launching over the next couple of weeks. In fact, just today I posted a couple coins which I think are undervalued in the AI sector from a fundamental perspective. Not going to speak about them on the show just yet. If you want the alpha, it will be in the Discord as soon as you sign up. And we're also launching a pretty cool tool over the next couple of weeks to give you guys access to early investment rounds and opportunities. But I'm not going to say too much more on that until the time's right. I'm going to let the loyal ones that really want to be a part of it join first before we hit the cap of 1,000, and then we can all cook together on that. Going on to some other meme coins that I'm currently looking at, because I really don't think this meme coin run is over yet. These are the coins that I'm looking at accumulating on dips. I really like the setups, not just on memes, but in alts in general, where you have seen a pump, a breakout, and then a retrace into a key high time frame level. I typically like bidding these zones as you do have the ability to set a validation below like previous lows, which I like. Also, PEPE is exhibiting similar price action. In the case of PEPE, what I would probably do is wait for, let's say, this move to play out. You can probably look to buy the dip in this zone, or you can wait for a reclaim and get in here before potentially attacking a next leg to the upside. WIF, though, is looking a little bit better from just a pure TA validation perspective, having the clear retest of this previous range low, which can now form a new base for a potential leg to range high, which I really like. Another chart that I really like right now is SUNDOG. This is the leading meme coin on Tron. I think there's some cool stuff cooking here, and the chart looks really good, actually. You can see it's pretty much only made higher lows. So you have a low here, then a higher low, then a break of range high, which acted as a retest, and another higher low. Technically, even though it broke all-time high, when it did come down, it made another higher low, and we've seen two subsequent higher lows after that. So this is a classic uptrend What I would love to see on SUNDOG, and this might be the validation for the next trade that I take here, is a reclaim of all-time high. And then this could be a potential trade looking to target not only the previous all-time high, but then a potential move above into price discovery. And that could be the move that sends it to $1 billion. But for now, I'm watching this chart and it looks quite good. So it's on my watch list alongside things like FOXY, PEPE, and WIF. What are some other memes I'm looking at? In terms of a spot positioning perspective, I really like MOG. This is one that I talked about last week, and it's actually already up 20% since I discussed it on the show and on my Twitter last week. I think that PopCat has run a lot in terms of the cat coin niche versus these other coins, but I think there's a bit of catching up to do. Remember, MOG was the leading cat coin at a certain time, so I like the idea of accumulating here now that there's a bit more of a discrepancy. MOG was at $1 billion, so it's like almost a 2x to all-time highs. Michi as well is another one, if I had to pick one, that I think is being underrepresented in the market. Toshi as well, I think, is being underrepresented, and I think cats at some point do catch up to dogs. Now, we have been monitoring this in the Discord. Paradise in the team building channel. It's essentially a channel where we build indicators together, where we handhold through different strategies together, has built these amazing spaghetti noodle charts for certain narratives. And what he basically built in the team building channel was a cat versus dog coin noodle, which basically allows you to view at any point in time which ones are outperforming. So if you can see the trend shifting towards dogs and cats, you can position accordingly. You can see the outperformers on a relative strength basis across a variety of time frames. And I really like these noodles in general for gauging performance of different coins versus other coins, because the goal as an investor in crypto is to outperform the market, and to become profitable, you need to be aware of relative strength. So we're creating a bunch of noodles in the Discord that are available for members, and we're building a lot of these in the team building channel, which is a great channel if you want to learn how to trade and identify these trends. So obviously we give you calls and alpha, but one of the major focuses in the group is actually teaching you how to fish. We do give you fish, but for the ones that want to learn how to fish and implement these strategies on their own, there's so much educational alpha in the group as well. So I'll once again mention that there's a link in the description below if you want to join the Mars High Club and become a part of that. It's been a freaking amazing week, one of our most profitable weeks, and I've got a lot of alpha as well I'm dropping in there that I can't always drop on the shows for various reasons, but especially some of the lower cap alpha, I often share that in the Discord because, you know, when you're dealing with lower caps, sometimes, especially if it's like a really low cap coin, if I mention it on a show, it can manipulate and pump price, and then people accuse you of pumping your bags and all this stuff. So doing it in a more closed community of less than 1,000 people eliminates that risk and allows me to share like a lot of early alpha with people without, you know, taking on more outside risk. So that is why a lot of those calls are in the Discord. Obviously, I do my best to give you alpha every day in this show. But yeah, there are some good little trades that we're cooking up in the Discord as well, alongside the show. So that was Memecoins. That was narrative number 1, and it should be no surprise to you that narrative number 2 that I want to discuss now is AI. I think memes and AI will probably be the leaders this cycle, but in Q4, if alts accelerate and continue their uptrend, I think these are the clear standout narratives in the market. I like this tweet from Bearer or Doomstart. They say, I'm extremely bullish on AI. Tweeted this back in the day when AI was just becoming a narrative. Since then, a lot's changed. OpenAI, that originally fueled AI's run, is now a much bigger company and might as well go public at some point. All numbers associated with the OpenAI pump AI coins. So in the months to come, our AI coins are going to do great. Companies like BlackRock and Microsoft are partnering to form giant funds for AI. Don't turn your eyes off of these events. And that's one thing I've always said about AI. It has this organic narrative flow of constant TradFi investment, constant new products shipping, constant new announcements, which give it reinstated hype. And there's no surprise that whenever crypto runs, AI outperforms. I really think it's that simple at this point. Now, they go on to give a few coins like Tau, FET, Render, IO, Spec that are their top AI coins. I have a few different ones. Let me talk about some of them now. I also like this tweet from DeFi Squared that says, earlier in the cycle, AI in crypto was far too new to focus on real utility, so vaporware prevailed. This time around, the climate feels more right for the market to solidify the more legitimate projects as future blue chips, likely infra and or prevailing AI L1. Let me talk about a couple of really solid plays now. Nia comes to mind when you talk about real solid AI tech. Nia is obviously an L1 blockchain, but it has a focus on AI. Ilya is obviously the founder, really tied in with AI, and that's been a major focus with them from day one. So I think when it comes to infra, yes, you've got coins like Tau, which I like, But Tao's run up a lot, and I actually think NIA presents a pretty decent opportunity, especially, look, if we do continue to see a pullback, even if it does get deeper into like this zone here, I'd be interested in adding. But I'm pretty, you know, if your goal is to hold AI coins for the entire cycle, you can kind of just stack these things and hold them. If you want to be a bit more of a trader, a bit more selective with your entries, you can be a bit pickier, wait for big pullbacks. It depends on your strategy, but NIA is one that I have been accumulating on dips. Arweave as well hasn't moved, but is one of my top AI plays. They recently launched their supercomputer. It ran up hard in the hype of that in May. It's now drawn down 50%. If we can reclaim this level here, it's obviously already had its initial breakout. I'd be interested in getting an entry in this zone, wait for a weekly close, and I think it can push up to the next high super quickly. It fits this criteria of projects, which I actually mentioned on my Twitter today. I'll read out the criteria. So these are coins that I'm looking at that are mostly diluted, with the team very active and building hard throughout the bear, has a strong narrative, and has big exchange listings. I think Arweave pretty much ticks all these boxes. Let me look at the dilution. I think there might be some dilution to come. What is it? No, it's pretty much fully diluted. There you go. So it does tick all these boxes. 1.4 bill market cap, fully diluted at a 1.4 bill FDV. The team's still active and built really hard throughout the bear. They literally built their supercomputer throughout the bear. It has a strong narrative, yes, because it's in AI. Has big exchange listings, yes. I think it's on Binance. Let me just double check this. Yeah, it's on Binance, so OKX, Bybit, all the big exchanges. That's an example of a coin that ticks the criteria for coins that, as I mentioned here, can fly really quickly. So I have been adding a bag of Arweave, and on that weekly close above that level I showed you, I'm really interested in adding more as an AI play. You should really, in your own time though, look for coins that fill this criteria, because there are a few of them, and I think those are the ones, you know, that aren't big exchanges that have obviously access to, where retail has access to them, that can fly really quick. So I like NIA. I like Arweave. They both kind of fit that criteria. One that I recently took a position in via OTC is TARS protocol. They're backed by the Solana Foundation. I think it's a great AI protocol. The only thing I think you've got to be wary of is the fact that it wicked so high, and now we are seeing a pretty strong drawdown. So I would just wait a little bit on this. I think if there's a continued dip over the next couple of weeks, you might actually be able to get in much lower. So from your perspective, I would probably wait for a dip to get in. For full transparency, I did take an OTC at a discounted price, so I'm always going to be transparent with you guys about these things. From a retail point of view, I would wait, but it's definitely one on my watch list, because I think from a liquid point of view as well, because if you look at the fully diluted market cap, it's 150, 73 mil market cap. It's not that high. So I still think there is opportunity here. I would just wait for things to cool down and settle a little bit. Even if it does continue pumping, I want to find a demand zone where it actually settles, you know, because it's much easier to play in validation off a key level that's established versus a coin that's just pumped massively. You guys know, if you've been watching the shows all year, I always preach buy major dips, buy major dips, buy major dips. Now, I know it can be tough for some of you at certain times because you just want to FOMO in and you get dopamine from buying straight away. But I think over the last 6 months, I've kind of been proven correct in that thesis, in the sense that you don't need to rush. There's always more opportunities in this market. Even last week, everyone thought the market would keep going up only. We are getting a dip today. So pretty much my thesis of buying major dips, even in a bull run, is never going to go away. You're always going to get chances to do that. And I just think it's a much better way to approach the market. And conversely, you want to be looking to ladder out on big pumps. Trading this market is really that simple. Obviously, the difficult part is picking the right altcoins, but that's why I'm here every day and trying to give you the right altcoins in the top sectors. And you'll notice I'm mainly focusing on sectors with relative strength. That's why we're discussing memes and AI today as the focus of today's video. Echelon Prime is one that merges AI and gaming. So two powerful narratives. I think gaming at some point comes back, but clearly, you know, AI is hot. This one, I would be very interested in a breakout trade if it can hold above 11.9. If we do come back down to range low here, the $7.50 to $8 zone would be a great chance to accumulate. There's no need to rush in terms of making a decision, but this is definitely one that's on my watch list. And the market right now is really a game of like building your watch lists out. So not every coin all at once is going to be in a buy zone. Not every coin I talked about today is in a buy zone. What do I mean? From a TA point of view, although PEPE from a spot perspective, you can probably just buy it and chill, I don't like PEPE as much as I like WIF as a buy. You know, from a TA point of view, certain coins look better than others. NIA is kind of in no man's land. Arweave is at a very interesting level from a TA perspective. So what I recommend doing is, I like all of these coins. What you want to do is build out watch lists. So for AI, gaming, memes, etc. on your TradingView, Mars High Club members in the Mars Alpha channel have access, by the way, to my exact watch list across every sector. Let me get it for you here. If you scroll up, I also do the show summaries. Here, I posted on the 25th of September my full altcoin watch list, which is divided into categories. So if you just want an easy way, you can basically go through every single category: gaming, DeFi, AI, RWA, memes, etc., and automatically just add it to your TradingView. And then you can add TA to these coins to track them. Because some days you might get alerts for a certain coin and you might buy it, and then you can be patient on the others, and then one might run and then another might pull back, and you can slowly build positions without having to FOMO in all at once with no risk management. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. They like FOMO into the market. Better to have a watch list pre-prepared, levels predefined, and then when each respective level on individual altcoins hit, that's when you pull the trigger. And as I mentioned, a lot of the coins that I'll be pulling the trigger on over the next week or so, especially if we continue to see a deeper pullback, are on the AI and the meme coins. If you do want to join the Mars High Club Discord, there's a link in the description below. I'll be here giving you crypto alpha most days this week. I hope you guys can maximize this dip in the market. I think there might be a few opportunities that present, but overall, from a macro perspective, I'm still bullish on what crypto can do in Q4, but just keep in mind, I'm not expecting the real fireworks in the market to start until 2025. So you've got time here. As I mentioned last week, there's no need to rush. There's no need to FOMO. You've got time to position. Follow the process, research solid fundamental altcoins. I'm spending a lot of time researching like smaller cap AI right now. A couple I'm actually going to talk about today in my Discord Alpha channel because I'm finding new stuff all the time. I'm researching new stuff all the time. Today I asked people in my Twitter to shill me some coins that I'm going to research. Teams have been messaging me with their dot points. I'm reading through them all today. I'm still absorbing information and preparing because a lot of alts are still really close to lows and haven't run yet. It's a popcorn market. Some alts are running, some aren't, then they might pop. So I'm looking for the things that might pop next that haven't yet and spending a lot of time on that, which is a lot of fun because these are the market conditions where research can really pay off and you can hit nice trades pretty quickly. I'm going to see you in the next video. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you later. Peace out.